Shalom. All praises to the Most High Creator Yah, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. I pray everyone is feeling and doing well today. I pray that all the people of Israel, all people who are still in captivity and still burdened with the shackles of various tactics and schemes and plans against them. People who have been underneath attack for over 4 centuries now. And the attacks continue. But the attackers are now very covert, and they like to bait us into assaults on our character, on our personal health, on our spiritual well-being, and our spiritual standing in the eyes of the Most High. So it is officially recognized now, the day that the slaves were told that they were free, Juneteenth, is now an officially recognized federal holiday. Now, I've said time and time again, the timing of events is very important. One should always note that, but also you should note the placement of the events, the proximity in which these events happen to other established events. A lot of our people have been very elated at the idea that the federal government is now recognizing Juneteenth. Now, Juneteenth has been recognized in various states. Not all of them, but some of them have already recognized it. And this was done many years ago. Over 2 decades ago, I believe Juneteenth was recognized in the state of Texas. So it was never anything new for that state. But this is a day that marks it, Juneteenth, a federal holiday, which means all states must now recognize it. And it's understandable that a lot of our people are happy. But now is not the time to get elated by superficial things like this, gestures, superficial, very intangible gestures. Nothing that you can touch, taste, or feel. Nothing that can heal your sickness. Nothing that can sate your hunger. Nothing that can keep you cold at night. Or nothing that can cool your home in the hot summer days. It is just a word that will probably also be accompanied with a statue or 2 or more, and a lot of showboating and grandstanding, but much ado about nothing. So Juneteenth is a interesting thing to consider. Well, the month of June in and of itself is something that needs to be considered, because there's another group of people who took it upon themselves to designate the month of June as a meaningful month for them. This group of people, they did this maybe a couple years ago. This is not something that is old. It's a very recent thing. And it's kind of taken a more visible life each successive year. And I am talking about, of course, Pride Month. Yes, June is the designated month set aside for the LGBTQ people. Now, I don't believe in coincidences. And I have a feeling, and as a result, I just have a feeling that the fact that the LGBTQ has decided to make June their official month, there must be a agenda behind that. And it's hard to separate the two when you really think about it. If you are in the month where homosexuals, lesbians, transsexuals, and various uh, undecided genders of people celebrate themselves, their lifestyle, their views, their uh, their accomplishments, it would be hard to distinguish another celebration that would just so happen within that same month. Juneteenth, and every successive Juneteenth that comes after this day, we will see our people celebrating at playgrounds, parks, having cookouts, and doing all the stuff that we typically do for, like, maybe Labor Day and the 4th of July, you know. But the thing about that is it's going to happen within the same month that we will see the LGBTQ holding their pride parades, marching down streets, holding big gatherings at public areas, probably parks. These two events will overlap. And as a result, we will see yet again, just like we saw with BLM, we will see an attempt to bring two types of people, one being a race and the other being a whatever you can call it, together. As you should recall with BLM, it started all off on about purely the shooting of black men by cops, particularly white cops. That was the primary narrative of BLM. That was the primary reason for marching. That was the primary reasons for calling out police brutality. But over the successive years, after BLM came onto the scene, and that was around the time during the Michael Brown shooting, there was a slow yet deliberate incursion into the BLM narrative. And this incursion just so happened to be by the very same people who have designated June their month of pride. So I just have a feeling that this is yet another trap set by our enemies to have us celebrating for some reason. They don't really care why we're celebrating, but a way to get us celebrating during the time of LGBTQ pride. Yes, in our minds, we'll just be celebrating Juneteenth. But in the grander scheme of things, we will be holding our cookouts. We will be holding our picnics and outings We will be socializing and seeing friends and communing with each other during the exact same time that the LGBTQ will be doing the exact same thing. So yeah, here we see yet another incursion into our space. So we just need to let the month of June go. It has been claimed by another group of people. You know, you know, it's just another month. That's how we should look at it. When the month of June comes around, it's just another month. Whenever Juneteenth rolls around, whenever that is, June 18th or 19th, I think it's June 19th. You know, just another day. That's how our perspective should be. You know, people ask, "Oh, aren't you going to, so it's Juneteenth. It's a day. It's a federal holiday. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Aren't you going to do something?" No, I ain't doing anything. I'm gonna go home. I'm off of work. It's federal holiday. Yay! I'm gonna go home and watch Netflix or something. Aren't you gonna go celebrate? No, I'm not going to go celebrate. I'm not going to go have a cookout or nothing like that. It's whatever. I get to sleep in. I don't have to go to work. That's all it is to me. That should be our stance on it now. You know, because there is such a thing where just simply through association, you can be perceived as being part of something. It's not something that you can escape. You can't just sit up here and say, "Oh, I'm not with them," when they're all over the darn place with their rainbow colored skirts and fluff balls and things like that floating all over the place. And then here you are saying you are celebrating this one day when the slaves were told that they were free. You constantly having to explain yourself. "Oh, I'm not with them. I know I'm out here celebrating Juneteenth. I ain't out here with this pride stuff. I'm not out here twirling pom poms and wearing the short skirts and the tight glitter pants. No. I'm not with those people. You know, I'm not with the Desmonds are amazing and stuff like that. I'm not. No. I'm not with those type of folk. No, I'm out here celebrating the Juneteenth. You know, it's just too much work. You know, so it's better just to let it go than to fight that fight. They've claimed it. They've claimed the month of June, and that's what they have in this civilization, in this society. Naturally, if we were in our own society, in our own land, nothing like that would happen. But until that day comes, we have to deal with the constant muck that continues to bubble up from underneath the stones and rocks and out the sewers in this civilization that is not of our creation. We were brought here, we were entrapped here. When our ancestors were coming to this land, they did not come seeking a new life. They did not come seeking a better world. They did not come perceiving themselves escaping some type of persecution. No, they came knowing that they were about to go into persecution, that they were going into oppression, that they were not going to a land of milk and honey, but they were going to a land of chains and tears. Now, all these other races that have migrated to this land, that's the biggest difference we have with them. They came here seeking a better life. We came here knowing that our lives were about to be turned into shit. So we're not responsible for this crap. We're not. But it seems like there's a concerted effort to drag us into it. And it will camouflage its efforts any way it can. So we must learn to swallow our pride by simply abandoning the month of June and the concept of Juneteenth altogether. So we're just going to have to swallow our pride and let them folk have theirs. Shalom.